Welcome to your deep dive. Today we're diving headfirst into some seriously cool AI advancements. And, we're not just talking about robots making your coffee this time. Think AI that can actually use computers just like you and me.
Now that is a thought, isn't it?
Yeah,
It really does change how we think about AI's role in our digital world.
it really does. And, leading the charge is Anthropic. They've released not one, but two new AI models.
Too.
Two. Claude 3.5 Sonnet and Claude 3.5 Haiku.
Hmm.
I'm already intrigued, but I have to admit, those names don't exactly scream, computer whiz to me. Can you break it down for us a little bit?
Sure thing. So
Mhm.
think of Sonnet as like the brainy one.
Okay.
It's built for tackling those really complex tasks. And get this, using computers to do it.
Wow.
Haiku, on the other hand, that one's all about speed and efficiency.
Okay.
It's like, you think about it like having a high-performance sports car versus a really nimble city car. Both are really useful in their own right, but designed for different purposes.
Okay, so a powerhouse and a speedster. It's exactly. I'm already picturing them like racing through lines of code.
Yeah.
But okay, let's talk about this whole AI using computers thing. I have to admit, it sounds a little bit, science fiction-y to me.
Sure.
Are we talking about AI that can like see a screen and move the mouse and even type?
You're exactly right, and it's not science fiction anymore. Imagine this. You're working on like a report, and instead of spending hours digging through files and like copy-pasting data, Claude 3.5 Sonnet is doing it all for you.
Really?
Yeah, it's all thanks to an API, which you can kind of think of as like a translator between the AI and your computer's interface.
Okay, so if I'm understanding this right, the API is like a bridge that lets the AI understand and control the computer just like a human user would.
Precisely. Like, when you're ordering food online,
Yeah.
you use an app, right? That's like the API. You use that to tell the restaurant what you want, and they use their system to like prepare and deliver your order. It's the same kind of thing. Claude uses the API to interact with your computer, just in a similar way.
Okay, that analogy makes a lot more sense.
Good.
So this isn't just some cool tech trick, right? This has the potential to like change how we work and live.
Yeah,
The possibilities are pretty much endless, right?
we really are. You're hitting the nail on the head. Think about all those tasks we find tedious and time-consuming, just like really annoying: data entry, research, scheduling appointments,
Ugh, don't even get me started.
right? All that stuff.
It's the worst.
AI, like Claude 3.5, could automate so much of that, freeing up our time and energy for more like creative and fulfilling work.
Now we're talking about some real-world applications that could benefit, everyone, not just tech wizards.
Right.
I imagine this would be a game changer for businesses, especially when it comes to efficiency and productivity.
Absolutely. And it's not just about automating those existing tasks.
Right.
Imagine the possibilities in fields like software development.
Yeah.
The browser company, for example, has been using Claude 3.5 Sonnet to automate their web workflows, and they found that it outperformed every other AI they tested.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. It seems like Sonnet is living up to its powerhouse title.
It really is.
But what makes these new models so good at what they do? What's going on, like, under the hood?
One thing that really sets Anthropic apart is their rigorous testing process.
Okay.
They put Sonnet and Haiku through the ringer, evaluating their performance on a wide range of tasks, from coding to understanding images and following complex instructions.
So it's not just hype, there's real substance behind these models.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what's really fascinating is that while Sonnet excels at those technical tasks like coding, it's also becoming increasingly adept at understanding and responding to natural language.
Okay.
This means it can interact with us in a more intuitive and human-like way.
So we're talking about AI that can not only, like, understand our requests, but also actually navigate the digital world to fulfill them.
Right.
That's a game changer, especially, for those of us who feel like we spend, like, half our lives glued to a computer screen.
It's true. Think about how much time we spend just navigating software, clicking through menus, searching for files.
So much time.
Right. With AI like Claude 3.5, those tasks could become as simple as saying, hey, Claude, can you draft a report on the latest market trends or whatever it is?
Okay. Now that is something I can get behind. No more wrestling with spreadsheets and like formatting issues. Just like
Yeah.
imagine you could be focusing on the bigger picture, the strategic thinking, while AI takes care of the like day-to-day digital grunt work.
Exactly. And this is where Anthropic's focus on like responsible development
Yeah.
becomes so important.
Right.
We're talking about really powerful technology here, And it's crucial that it's developed and deployed ethically.
Yeah, that's a really good point. With all the excitement surrounding AI, it's easy to forget about, the potential downsides.
Right.
We've all seen those movies where AI goes rogue, right?
All right.
What's to prevent that from happening in real life?
It's a valid concern
Yeah.
and one that Anthropic takes very seriously.
Okay.
They've implemented a number of safeguards, both in the way that they train their models and in the way that they allow those models to interact with the world.
Okay, that's reassuring. Can you give us some specific examples of those safeguards?
Sure. For starters, during the training process, they restrict the AI's access to the internet and social media.
Okay.
This prevents the model from, you know, learning potentially harmful or biased information.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't want your AI, getting its information from some shady corner of the internet.
Exactly. It's like raising a child. You want to expose them to those positive influences and teach them to think critically about the information that they encounter.
That's a great analogy. So it sounds like Anthropic is really committed to making sure that their AI is both powerful and responsible.
Absolutely. They've even developed something called a responsible scaling policy, which outlines their approach to developing and deploying AI in a safe and ethical manner.
So what does that mean in practical terms? What's involved in this responsible scaling policy?
Well, it involves a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But one key aspect is transparency.
Okay.
Anthropic is committed to being open about their research, their processes, and, the limitations of their AI.
Sure.
They believe that by sharing this information with the wider community, they can help ensure that AI is developed and used for the benefit of everyone.
I like that. No secrets, just open communication and collaboration.
Exactly.
That feels like a much more responsible approach than, some of the other tech giants out there.
I agree. And I think it's important for consumers to support companies that are prioritizing these ethical considerations.
Right.
We have a responsibility to shape the future of AI.
Yeah.
And that starts with demanding transparency and accountability from the companies developing it.
Well said. Now, going back to the, practical applications of this technology for a moment, we've talked a lot about how it could benefit businesses and increase efficiency.
Right.
But what about its potential impact on, individuals? How could AI like Claude 3.5 impact, our daily lives?
That's a great question. And I think we're only beginning to scratch the surface of what's possible, really.
Yeah.
Imagine having an AI assistant that can help you manage your schedule, book travel arrangements, even draft emails and social media posts.
Okay. Now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
An AI that can handle my inbox and, wrangle my calendar. Sign me up.
Right.
But seriously, it's exciting to think about how this technology could free up our time and mental energy to focus on the things that we're truly passionate about. It's like having a personal assistant, but without the awkward small talk at the water cooler.
Exactly. And, think about the potential for accessibility.
Oh, yeah.
For people with disabilities, AI like this could be truly transformative,
Yeah.
allowing them to interact with technology in ways that were previously difficult or impossible.
That's such an important point. Technology should be a tool for empowerment, not a barrier. And it seems like AI, like Claude 3.5, has the potential to level the playing field in so many ways.
It really does.
Yeah.
While we've been focusing on this positive potential of AI, it's important to acknowledge that there are also, valid concerns.
Right, like the potential for, job displacement.
Exactly. As AI becomes more sophisticated, it's kind of inevitable that some jobs will become automated. It's something we need to be prepared for as a society.
So how do we prepare for that? What can we do to ensure that everyone benefits from these advancements, not just a select few?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think it requires a multifaceted approach. We need to invest in education and retraining programs to help workers adapt to that changing job market.
Yep.
We also need to have some serious conversations about, the social safety net and how we can ensure that everyone has access to basic needs regardless of their employment status.
It's about being proactive and anticipating the changes rather than just reacting to them after the fact.
Precisely. And I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool. It's up to us to decide how we want to use it. We can choose to use it to create a more equitable and just society, or we can allow it to exacerbate, existing inequalities.
Yeah.
The choice is really ours.
That's a powerful thought. It's not, man versus machine. It's about how we can use these tools to build a better future, for everyone.
Well said. And I think that's something worth reflecting on. As we continue to explore these frontiers of AI, let's do so with a sense of responsibility and a commitment to using this technology for good.
Absolutely. It's been an incredible journey exploring the world of AI with you today. And while, we've barely scratched the surface of what's possible with models like Claude 3.5, Sonnet, and Haiku, I think this deep dive has given us plenty to ponder.
I agree. It's such a rapidly evolving field,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Me too. And for our listener, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you're leaving today feeling, informed, intrigued, and maybe even a little bit inspired to learn more about this incredible world of AI. Until next time, keep exploring.